In honor of Shang-Chi and the Suicide Squad, today I'm counting down my most anticipated comic book movies from now until the end of 2022. Let's do it. What is up, fans? Welcome back to my channel. We've got a lot of comic book movies and really projects over the next couple of years, and I thought it would be fun to just talk about the ones that I'm looking forward to the most from now until the end of next year. And one wouldn't think we have over 10, but we do. We have over 10 and a couple of projects that aren't Marvel or DC, but that's kind of going to be the focus of today's video. Now, I do want to preface with this. Obviously, this is all about movies after the Suicide Squad, but I've also seen Shang-Chi. Now, I can't talk about it yet, but it's not going to be on this list because I've seen it, so I'm not anticipating it, but I do want to see it again. So, that review's coming Monday, by the way, but I thought this would be super fun, so I need you guys down below. What is your most anticipated movie on this list? And if you enjoy these countdowns, I'd like to do more things like them. Be sure to drop your thumbs up down below, and if you enjoy this, we may be doing a special superhero tier list very, very soon. But as of now, let's get into the top 10. You know what? I want to start with some honorable mentions, some movies that are also coming out that didn't quite crack this top 10. So, a movie like Morbius that has shifted multiple times. Still kind of looking forward to it. A bit up in the air on what it's going to be, but could be interesting. Aquaman 2, James Wan's next foray into this universe. I don't know too much about it. That's what's keeping it out of this top 10, but obviously Momoa is great as the character. And then one that, didn't crack this list because I'm still trying to figure out the kind of movie it's going to be. I like the second trailer. I'm on record saying I think the second trailer for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, is good. And I think this movie could be good. Part of me has this fear that it may not live up to expectations, but I'm definitely going to go in excited for the film. But we're going to get into my top 10, and let's start out at number 10 with the brand new Captain Marvel movie, The Marvels or The Marvels. I am so pumped to see what this film does, not only because we're bringing Brie Larson back, and, I thought the first one was fine, but I want this to be an improvement on the first. That's kind of the hope going into this movie. So if they can take that and give us something a little bit better, that will be awesome. Then you've got the new characters. You've got Miss Marvel. You have our brand new character that we were introduced to in WandaVision. So essentially, 3 Captain Marvels in one movie. I like the director here. I think this could be interesting when you look at the type of project that it is, talking about the future of the MCU, going more into space and setting up things for the future. But I really want it to stand out as something different in the MCU. So that's number 10. Number 9. And the only reason this isn't higher is because there is still this fear deep down that Black Panther Wakanda Forever is an impossible task. Because how do you bring us a movie like this? And obviously they're going to be doing it in the memory of Chadwick Boseman, but without Chadwick Boseman. If anyone was going to do it, I think Ryan Coogler can do it. I trust Ryan Coogler. I trust this cast to take that mantle and do something interesting. Now, no one really knows what it's about. That's what's keeping me from really looking forward to it even more so. But we do have tidbits, and we can kind of piece together information. We have a bit of a cast. There's a rumor that Namor could make an appearance, so I'm excited to see what comes. When we learn more about it, maybe it will move up this list, but Ryan Coogler is faced with such a hard task. I hope he nails it. I have confidence that he will. Let's go from Marvel to DC. Let's go into Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam and talk about this for just a second. Like I said, we're talking about movies from now until the end of 2022, and as of now, this is still scheduled to come out next year. Black Adam could be one of the best movies on this list. Why is it not higher? Well, because a lot of these projects are just super exciting, and we've not even really seen a trailer. I mean, we've seen teases and concept art, and we know who the cast is for the Justice Society, and let me tell you, it's really exciting. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, are you kidding me? So this movie could be really, really fun, and not only are we getting The Rock as this anti-hero, somewhat villainous character, but a really cool team of superheroes that we know from the comics that are making their live-action debut. To see some of these side characters make an appearance in live action, it's just going to be really cool. So I hope Black Adam is great. It comes in at this spot on this list. The next movie we're talking about, one that was significantly higher before I learned more about these other films. And the only reason it's right here is because I'm still not entirely sure what this film is going to be. As soon as we get a trailer, though, because it is Taika Waititi, I have a feeling this is going to skyrocket. It's Thor: Love and Thunder. I am so fired up for this movie because I just know what Taika Waititi can do. We've seen it not only in other movies, but in this universe. Thor: Ragnarok, one of my favorite films in the MCU. You have the return of Natalie Portman. You have the inclusion of the Guardians and Christian Bale. And we have Zeus entering the chat. Russell Crowe in this movie. So the cast is ridiculous. And if they follow the comics and Portman's inevitable storyline, Jane Foster taking the mantle of Thor for a period of time, it could be interesting. Now, if they do something completely different, I'm not sure because the comic storyline is so good, but we'll just have to see how this plays out. But I trust Taika Waititi. In Taika, we trust. The fact that this is so low down on this list tells you how many good movies are in front of it. Ezra Miller's The Flash. And, you know, I wasn't entirely convinced about this character until I saw the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, and now I'm much more on board. Felt more like a Wally West, less like a Barry Allen, but now I'm getting the idea of who this character is. You add on top of that Michael Keaton returning as Batman, Ben Affleck making an appearance as this character, and a really cool storyline from the comics. If they if they do end up doing Flashpoint, please make this great. And now there's rumors that he's facing an alternate version of Barry Allen instead of Reverse Flash. I would rather be Reverse Flash, but you have to trust the director in this situation. And I like the filmmaker. I like everything about this movie so far. I hope they do the character justice, but beyond that, Michael Keaton's returning. Come on, man. Give it 2022. I can't wait. Oh, this hurts. This really hurts. Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies. It's mostly because I still don't know. I mean, obviously, we've got Oscar Isaac's inclusion in this film. We know that there's going to be that Spider-Man. We don't know who else is coming into the equation, what exactly the story is going to be. All we know that there is a Spider-Verse 2. Now, that's all I need to know. I don't really want to know anything, but that's what's keeping me from moving it even higher. I have confidence that this could be the best movie on this list. Absolutely. But there's just so much going on with these other movies. This is me trying to give you guys rationale as to why this isn't higher, because Spider-Verse is so freaking good. It's so good. It's like the perfect animated Spider-Man movie. We couldn't have gotten anything better. This is a sequel. We don't know more than that. But again, I don't need to know more than that. I am so pumped for Spider-Verse 2. Please don't get delayed. Please stay in 2022. Chloe Zhao. Roll credits. She's working on a comic book movie. It's Eternals. Now, I am hyped out of my mind for Eternals. And for a long time, it was my most anticipated comic book movie. Now, there's so much hype surrounding another film that we'll talk about here in just a second. It's hard not to go with that one. But I have a lot of confidence in Eternals because of the filmmaker, because of the cast, because of the comic book lore, and what exactly they're going to tie in. Now, we don't know that just yet, and we don't know where the Eternals are going to lie in this universe and what role they're going to play, but in terms of mixing that independent-style filmmaking with beautiful, brisk cinematography and shooting on location, I mean, that's really cool, and they're bringing that to the Marvel Universe, and again, Richard Madden and Jolie, and it's a great concept. I hope the execution is there. I trust that it will be there. Oscar winner Chloe Zhao. I think the Eternals is going to rock. 2 and 3, 3 and 2. I still don't know. I've been debating it. I've got it on the list as one thing, and I guess I'm going to stick with that. It's so hard because they could both blow our minds, but I'm going to go No Way Home, a.k.a. Spider-Man. A Spider-Man movie at number 3. First of all, we're all dying to see this trailer. We know this by now. I don't have to talk about it. I've been looking for it. It's not anywhere in this house, I promise you. But I know that No Way Home is going to deliver us something different and fresh and hopefully multiversal. With all the rumors and the speculation, it feels like, if they end up not doing all of this stuff, we will be disappointed. And I hope that's not the case. I just want a really good story picking up where the last movie left off. Now everyone knows who Peter Parker is. That's awesome. I think that's truly a phenomenal storyline. But you add into that, the confirmation of Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina, which brings us to speculate Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and it's just too obvious at this point not to be the case. So I'm convinced, right? If it's not the case, fine. But I'm convinced that it's going to happen. And whether it just be a small role, a cameo, or their inclusion into the entirety of the third act, I just think this is a cool opportunity to not only right the wrongs of the past, but to give everyone a chance to see this Spider-Verse concept happen in live action. But even if we don't get that, I'm just hyped for another Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland. So I hope this movie is great. We'll just have to see. Where's the trailer? Give it to me. Here's why I put this at number 2. I feel like No Way Home is kind of the calm before the storm, and the storm is coming. And I believe there will be a storm maybe at the end of that movie. But Multiverse of Madness, not only is Spider-Man going to lead into that, but Loki is leading into that. WandaVision is leading into that. It feels like every step that we are going to get this year in the MCU, obviously not all of them, but most of them are stepping right into Multiverse of Madness. And this is going to be an Avengers-level film because Doctor Strange is going to be going to different worlds and seeing different versions of characters, but not only that, maybe new characters and maybe things that we never imagined we would see on the big screen, and I'm freaking out just thinking about it. Help. And when I first heard the title, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I was like, oh, this could be cool, but I don't know exactly what they're going to do. And after seeing all of the things that we have seen this year, a lot of it being on television, now I have a good idea as to what they're going to do and as to who the ultimate villainous or antagonist character that he's going to face. And the fact that you have that plus all of these little Easter eggs that could tie into this movie, guys, this movie could be absolutely huge. It's hard not to put it at number 1. I had to put it slightly over No Way Home, but all 3 in my top 3 are fantastic. The only reason I have this as my number 1 is because I love Batman. I've always been a big Batman fan. And that doesn't make me stand out from the crowd because I feel like everyone is a big Batman fan. And we're always looking forward to the new interpretation, incarnation of the character. And, you know, a lot of people, there is this fear that Robert Pattinson, or was this fear, there shouldn't be now, that Robert Pattinson could ruin this character. You watch a movie like Good Time, you watch a movie like The Lighthouse, even Tenet. I mean, he's always giving a distinct and different, yet great performance. And just the 2-minute trailer that we got, seeing kind of how he's approaching this character. And then Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves brought us 2 of my absolute favorite movies of the last decade in the Planet of the Apes films, and I think he's just a really talented filmmaker. All of those things come together and giving us a story that could semi-follow the comic books in The Long Halloween and take that, run with it in a different direction. Paul Dano as the Riddler, a grounded, gritty, dark Batman story where he's really trying to be a detective, an aspect that we've seen shades of before, but not to this degree, guys. There's so many things I could rave about when it comes to the Batman. I probably watched this trailer about 100 more times. How many times have you guys watched it? It's ridiculous. It may be the most times I've ever watched a trailer. I'm not kidding. I'm that hyped about the film, and I just think it could be something special. We don't know until we see the movie, but I'm going to let that hype kind of live in my brain. It's up there with Dune for me. Like, I've been so psyched out of my mind for Dune for so long, my favorite filmmaker, all of that stuff. But man, the Batman just looks outstanding. But all of these movies, I mean, the entirety of my top 10, even the honorable mentions, even the ones I forgot about, like the Super Pets or whatever that is, the DC movie, that could be good. And then, of course, we have to talk about all the television shows coming out, from Hawkeye to She-Hulk. I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot. There's so much. We are so spoiled by superhero movies because, you know, 20 years ago, we'd get one every 2 years, and now we get one every 2 months. It's crazy. But I need to know, what is your all's most anticipated superhero movie or project in general? And if you like this video and you'd like to support this channel, be sure to drop that thumbs up. It really makes a difference, and it tells me you want more. Like I said, Shang-Chi, I have seen it. I will be discussing it on Monday, and then all those spoiler thoughts will be coming out around the time when the movie comes out, because I don't want to ruin anything for you guys. You're truly the best. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate all of the kindness. As always, it means a lot to me, and I'll see you soon.